Have you ever had this brilliant idea at work? One you were absolutely sure was going to be a huge win, only to have it shot down by the higher-ups? It is so frustrating. But what if I told you it's not always about having a bad idea? Sometimes it's about speaking the wrong language. Today, we're going to decode the language of leadership and learn how you can shift your perspective to see the entire chessboard, just like a CEO.
Oh man, this feeling is so common, right? You've done the math, you can see all the potential, and yet the people at the top just don't seem to get on board. It feels like you're talking and they're just not hearing you. But here's the secret. It's not that they don't get it. It's that they're looking at a completely different map, one that shows the entire landscape, not just your little corner of it.
So yeah, that's the big question we're tackling. Why do perfectly good, even profitable ideas get the thumbs down? To figure this out, we're going to follow the story of a manager named Pete. His journey from total frustration to a real aha moment is the perfect case study for us.
Okay, first up, the manager's dilemma. This is all about that classic disconnect, the view from your desk versus the view from the C-suite. All right, so picture Pete. He's a young manager, he's full of energy, he's got all these great ideas. He comes up with this project that he is absolutely convinced will make his company a ton of money. So when it gets rejected, he's, understandably crushed. He feels like his bosses are just completely missing the point. And this is where the light bulb goes on. See, Pete was looking at a local win, a victory for his team, his department. But the CEO, he was looking at the entire system. He could see that Pete's idea, while good on its own, would actually cause problems somewhere else by pulling key resources from other really critical projects. The big takeaways here? A CEO doesn't just manage the individual parts, they manage the whole interconnected machine.
So how do we make that leap? How do you go from just seeing your own chess piece to seeing the entire board? Well, it all starts with developing that CEO's perspective. And mastering this isn't just about getting your ideas approved, it's about setting yourself up to be a future leader.
We all get completely sucked into the daily grind, don't we? The emails, the meetings, the never-ending deadlines. It's like this powerful force that keeps our focus super narrow. The first, and maybe most important step to thinking like a leader is to consciously fight that gravity. You have to literally create moments to just step back and look up from the keyboard.
This question right here, this changes everything. Before you jump into a new project, maybe even before you send that really important email, just pause for a second and ask yourself, how does this actually move the needle for the entire company? It's a simple habit, but it connects what you do every single day to the grand strategy.
So here are 3 super practical habits you can start building. First, zoom out, which we just talked about. Second, connect. You got to break out of your bubble. Go talk to people in finance, in marketing, in operations. This isn't just about schmoozing, it's intelligence gathering. You need to see how your work impacts theirs, and vice versa. And finally, reflect. Seriously, put 30 minutes on your calendar every week just to think about the business. It is probably the single best way to start spotting the opportunities that everyone else is missing.
Okay, so now that we've talked about shifting your mindset, let's get really practical. CEOs don't just rely on gut feelings. They use mental models, or what we call frameworks, to slice through all the complexity and make good decisions fast. Think of these as your personal toolkit for strategic thinking. So what even is a framework? Well, think of it like a mental shortcut. Instead of getting totally lost in 1,000 different details, it gives you a simple, repeatable process to analyze a problem. Using them frees up your mental energy for the more creative, high-level thinking. It's how leaders cut through all the noise and make smart decisions without getting bogged down. All right, our first tool helps you figure out how much time and energy a decision really deserves. Because here's the thing, not every choice carries the same weight. The trick is to know the difference between decisions you can easily take back and those you can't. A reversible decision is kind of like walking through a regular door. You can easily walk right back through it if you don't like what's on the other side. If it's a bad idea, no big deal, you just unwind it. For these, you can move fast, you can test things. But an irreversible decision, that's like walking through a one-way door that locks behind you. Trying to go back would be incredibly difficult and expensive. Those are the ones that require that deep, careful, slow-it-down analysis. Next up, we've got a tool that will bring instant clarity to your to-do list. I mean, we all have way too many ideas and never enough time, right? The effort versus impact grid is the fastest way to figure out where to focus your energy to get the biggest bang for your buck. It's such a simple but powerful exercise. That top left quadrant, high effort for low impact, that is career quicksand. Just stay away.
The top right, high effort and high impact, those are your big bets. Think major product launches. But the bottom right, low effort and high impact, oh, that's where the magic happens. These are the quick wins that build momentum and, frankly, make you look like a genius. That is priority number one.
Okay, our final framework is perfect for when you're stuck comparing multiple options. Like, should we go with option A or option B for this new project? It's a really systematic way to weigh your choices clearly. For each option, you just list out 3 things. First, the benefits. Pretty simple. What do we gain? Second, the costs. And this is really key. Cost isn't just about the money. It's also time, people, resources, energy, and even risk. And third, mitigations. What specific things can we do to reduce those costs or risks? If Pete's CEO had used this, his project's benefits might have been totally outweighed by the resource costs to other teams. Laying it all out like this just makes the best path forward so much clearer. So let's pull all this together. Making that shift to leadership thinking, it isn't about you having all the answers yourself. Not at all. It's about changing your perspective and then using the right tools to analyze the situation.
And please remember this critical point. These tools are not meant for you to use in a silo. The smartest leaders I know don't have all the answers. They just know how to get the right people into the room to find them together. Strategic thinking is a team sport, period. When it all boils down to it, thinking like a CEO is about 2 things. First, developing that wide-angle lens to see the whole enterprise. And second, using these simple, powerful frameworks to bring the most important details into sharp focus.
So here's your challenge for this week. Don't just file this info away. I want you to pick one decision you're facing, big or small. Which framework are you going to use? Reversible versus irreversible? Effort versus impact? BCM? Go ahead and apply it and just see what you uncover. You might be surprised to find that thinking like a CEO isn't about changing your job title, it's about changing your mind.